United States has enjoyed the richest of basketball history and a record of unsurpassed world dominance until recently. It has been loss after loss for U.S. basketball at these tournaments, and what was once a golden tradition has paled into something less brilliant. But this year, America has assembled the dream team, and these 12 men are determined to bring basketball supremacy back to the United States.
Yes, get to it. Let's go. Let's go, man.
They have gone about their task with a flair rarely seen in sports, dazzling all who have crossed their path, even themselves. Patrick with the pass that misfired. Jordan with the behind the back save. Here's Pearl. Yes.
The zone ain't gonna be working.
This collection of superstars has been unselfishly magnificent.
Come on, let's go, MJ.
Jordan off for fake. Michael Jordan with a spectacular move. They have been totally dominating, but along with all their style, the U.S. team has shown its substance at this tournament. And with a victory today, they will begin to atone for 5 years of desperation, proving once again that America's place is secure in international basketball. Today, the Americas. Tomorrow, the world. We welcome you to the championship game of the Tournament of the Americas from Portland, Oregon. I'm Marv Albert along with Mike Fratello and Quinn Buckner. It's game 6 of the competition for the United States men's Olympic basketball team. They've been treated like rock stars here in Portland. The dream team overwhelming all opposition. And we'll be back with the title.
Long before Scottie Pippen was chosen for the USA basketball team,
Hey, Pippen, Mike.
Look, that's Big Harold.
Wanna play?
Yeah.
he had to prove himself here. He knew he could count on his friend, Ronnie Martin.
Now, Scotty.
AT&T salutes all of our Olympic hopefuls and everyone who helped them get this far.
Hey, Scotty, those guys at the Olympics going to be tough.
Why? Did they sign Big Harold?
What the airlines did for travelers up here, Sheridan is doing for travelers down here. Introducing Sheridan Sure Savers, a revolutionary program that makes travel less expensive. 3 simple rates from 5 to 50% off. The airlines got people traveling again. Now Sheridan makes sure they get a great night's sleep.
We spent $1 billion, so you'll feel like $1 million at Sheraton Hotels.
Call us for Sheridan Sure Savers.
They've been called the greatest team in Olympic history. Bird, Jordan, Johnson, Ewing, Barkley, Stockton, Robinson, Pippen, Mullen, and Malone. Olympic basketball may never be the same. But if you think they're tough, wait till you see the guys at the ticket window if you don't have your Visa card. Because once again, the Olympics don't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Shaving would be simple, and any razor would do, if your face was square. But your face has curves. Presenting the revolutionary Schick Tracer, the only razor with twin blades that flex. Compared to other razors, Schick Tracer puts more of the blade edge against your skin. So, for real faces, like yours, Schick Tracer, we're changing the face of shaving.
The faces of the game. Today's starting lineups brought to you by Schick.
And these are the starters for Venezuela. Sam Shepard, a product of Delaware State. Ivan Olivares back from the injury list. He's averaging 18 points per game. Up front, Alexander Nelcha, Gabriel Estaba, who had a big one against Brazil in the upset here on Friday. And from the Houston Rockets, Carl Herrera, the 6'9" center. That's the coach of Venezuela, Julio Toro, his second year as head man of Venezuela's national team. For the United States, Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan open in the backcourt. Chuck Daly has been doing a lot of shuffling to see that his people get the minutes. Karl Malone and now Chris Mullen in the starting lineup for this afternoon's game. And David Robinson is the starting center. And the coaching staff for the U.S. Spearheaded by Chuck Daly, his assistants Lenny Wilkins, Mike Krzyzewski, the man who's taken Duke to 2 straight NCAA championships the last 2 years, and P.J. Carlesimo by way of Seton Hall. And Mike, once again, the U.S. team figures to dramatically overwhelm the opposition. In effect, today should be a coronation, a conclusion to what has been a dazzling display of basketball for the U.S. Olympic team.
Well, obviously there was a lot of thought given by the selection committee when they put this U.S. team together, wanting to have a team that was very flexible, that had a tremendous amount of depth. Chuck Daly's gone with 4 different starting lineups. He changes at halftime and comes out the second half many times with a different unit. So I think all those things they wanted, they've gotten.
The United States in its last outing on Friday night defeated Puerto Rico 119-81 in the semifinals, led by Scottie Pippen, who was one shy of a triple-double. Karl Malone, 8 for 11, 22 points. While Venezuela pulled off a major surprise on Friday in the semis by defeating Brazil 100-91. In their earlier meeting, Brazil defeated Venezuela by 47 points. Venezuela ran off 18 unanswered down the stretch, Brazil missing 16 straight shots. Even the celebrated Oscar Schmidt went cold. However, Oscar came back this afternoon in the consolation game. He had 27 points. Brazil defeating Puerto Rico 93-91. Chris Mullin has been on fire throughout the tournament. In fact, the entire squad has been on fire. They've shot 63% as a team. Guarded by Estaba. And here's Malone.
Venezuela starting out in a zone. U.S.
18 years. Shepard with the reverse. Rebounded by Nelcha. Blocked by Robinson. Magic Johnson for Karl Malone. Being shown by the United States as Carl Herrera handled the ball and then got trapped. Estaba played a year at South Alabama. He was in the camp of the Charlotte Hornets. As you look at that block that lands in the hand of Michael Jordan. Herrera and Robinson off the rebound. It is a 4-on-2. Malone making it 6-0 for the United States. And Julio Toro of Venezuela looks to talk it over. Timeout taken.
Ladies and gentlemen, USA Basketball would like to thank the
58-point differential. Lose by 47, win by 11.
That was an unusual early timeout taken a moment ago by Venezuela.
Because you only get 2 timeouts per half. So the fact that you would use one up after 2 minutes and 15 seconds, Coach Toro not happy with the shot selection after only 1 pass each time.
And Malone extends to an 8-0 lead. Venezuela is 0 for the first 3 minutes. They have missed on their first 7 field goal attempts.
Just a moment ago, the awesome attack, the transition game, and the big people for the U.S. team that run the floor so well. Karl Malone, David Robinson, Patrick Ewing.
Some call for that foul. Off the head fake, a strip by Jordan. Venezuela able to get Magic Johnson through the foul. He tried to split through, and he was stopped by Herrera.
Well, so much of the U.S. offense has come from their defense. Their ability to intercept.
Very sharp right throughout the weekend has indicated that he is looking to play at least a partial schedule next season.
Put himself out here competing at the same level he was at before he took the season off. So why not go back and play, providing that health-wise it's okay by the doctors.
Nelcha missing on the stuff. Here's Magic. And he was hacked.
Game, the lane is opening. Magic's taking advantage.
And you see the impressive stat line over the years. 13 seasons in the NBA for Magic Johnson. United States 11 and Venezuela nothing. Met by Malone on a switch. And Venezuela forced into the bad shot. Here's Magic to the hook, and that will count. It's a goaltend. Make it 13-0 for the United States. Minutes gone by in the first half. Nelcha. Venezuela is 0 for 10. Malone from Jordan. Here's Robinson. Shepard for three. So Shepard able to connect. Now they say a two-pointer. All right, Dick, and as you see, the United States with a now 20-9 lead. While we were away, Chris Mullen did hit a three-pointer, but Venezuela finally, after having the shooting difficulties, able to get in the scoring column. After missing their first 10, they've hit their last 4 field goal attempts. Michael Jordan slicing through, and it's rebounded by Alexander Nelcha. Shepard lofts one down. Olivares with the attempted save, but Magic able to retrieve. 6.5 gone by in the first half. Magic Johnson with a strong move. 22-9 for the United States. So Magic with 7 points. Malone leading the way with 8.
After their last game, that before he got there, they had problems getting the ball up the floor during international competition. There just were no point guards in the country.
Johnson guarding Sam the Magician Shepard. Nice pass. The reverse by Olivares rejected by Robinson. Olivares on a recovery.
And with the injury to Stockton, Michael Jordan now becomes your backup point guard to Magic Johnson. Nice problem to have.
Clyde Drexler extends to a 27-9 United States lead. Rustin Gonzalez has checked in for the first time for Venezuela. On Drexler, we're talking about the schedule of the U.S. men's Olympic team. Training camp beginning back on the 20th of June in La Jolla, California. Then this tournament, they move on to pick up training in Monte Carlo on the 18th, and then make their way to Barcelona. Finding Ewing. And Pippen's pass broken up, comes back to Ewing. Yes, Patrick Ewing, who has the excellent outside touch.
We'll play one more exhibition game against France and then move on to Barcelona.
Jordan for Ewing. So the United States with a 31-9 lead. At times you feel you're watching a performance, a Broadway show, a concert, rather than a basketball competition. We have pushing foul has been called on Luis Jimenez, who just came on.
Michael Jordan, who thrives on...
Ewing with the rebound. And Jimenez able to come up with it, had it knocked away. It's a 3-on-1. Drexler from Pippen. And here's Jordan.
Well, I'm not trying to say that he forgot how to score. It's just that he's the point guard now on the floor.
Foul is called on Barkley.
Well, the U.S. team is so athletic that they just continue to crash the boards, get second and third opportunities, then Michael with a little extra something on it at the end.
And the backup point guard, Michael Jordan, will take a seat. Christian Laettner coming on for the first time.
So now the question is, who runs the show? Well, as he does so often for his Chicago team, Scottie Pippen will basically control the basketball along with Clyde Drexler.
And off the trap, Drexler came up with the steal. Pippen leading the break, finding Laettner. 35-9. And it's kept alive by Gonzalez. Gonzalez off the rebound. Gonzalez again. Rustin Gonzalez. 11.
One of the things that continues to happen this week as Laettner faces up from outside, knocks down a 3. Each team comes in with its game plan, but as soon as the United States team gets up 8 or 10, it seems like they throw the game plan out the window. Which is the ball, fire it up, and you're not going to beat the United States team that way.
Scottie Pippen with the pass for Patrick Ewing. The United States 40 and Venezuela 11. Right throughout this tournament. Friday night, Puerto Rico actually hung in. That's a three-pointer. Victor Diaz hitting the 3. 7 minutes, and then the United States put it out of reach with one of those bursts. And a 3 for Drexler to answer Diaz. Well, earlier this week, longtime Soviet coach Alexander Gomelsky was in attendance, checking out the action. You recall it was Gomelsky who coached the Soviet national team to the gold medal in Seoul back in 1988, beating the U.S. in the semifinals. We asked him in a 10-game series, how would his Soviet team fare against the American Dream Team?
I think we have 10 games, maybe 3-4 times my boys win. If we have same team who play in the Olympic game in Seoul 98, this is possible.
Whoa, 3 or 4 victories for that 88 Soviet team against this U.S. Olympic team? You buy that?
Well, first of all, Coach Gomelsky is a very, very good friend of mine. I would have to say that for them to win a game against this United States team, it would be a case of the U.S. looking past that team. When this U.S. team zeroes in on their opponent, they have the ability to destroy anybody they play. And even though that was an outstanding team that they had, and a number of them have gone on to play professionally and are outstanding players, this team could beat them 9 out of 10 or all 10 games.
I would doubt, aside from, give the benefit of the doubt, 1 fluke win.
But you know what? If I was coaching that team, I'd probably say the same thing, that we'd have, a chance to win 3 or 4.
Absolutely.
You never know. It might be a reunion someday.
Yes, that's right. Is currently living in the San Diego area.
And will be coaching still a combined team of former Soviet players and some U.S. players. Will play a small schedule against outstanding college teams next year.
Nice setup for Drexler. United States with a 46-14 lead, 5:40 remaining. Squad, you get the idea that they were disappointed that they weren't tested more severely here, that the competition was not better. It will be stronger in Barcelona with the U.S. having to go up against clubs like Croatia, Lithuania.
No question that the staff understands their most difficult job will be when they regroup, Charles Barkley, a little baseline jumper, when they regroup and bring them back to Monte Carlo after this little 2-week vacation that they have coming up, to try and get them, if I were Chuck and the staff, about the defensive point guard pressure here in the NBA. And those type of players will continue to try to beat them off the dribble. Magic Johnson has had problems in the past guarding smaller guards that put it on the floor. With Stockton out, there is no real defensive player that can get after the smaller, quick guards and stop them from penetrating. That'd be the one problem.
10 apiece for Drexler and Malone. Ewing able to reject. Once again, the hook thrown up by Palacios. Just under 4 minutes to go in this first half. Leitner finishes it off. And the United States now leads 52-18. Various forms of Washington General-like opposition. Although the level of Leitner, and the United States leads 54-20.
Because of some of the things that have happened in the other countries, such as the splitting up of the Soviet Union and Yugoslavia, you have 2 and 3 teams now that are very strong and powerful from, let's say, the former Soviet Union, qualifying, knocking teams out like Italy that used to make it, Germany, because of the only X number of slots that qualify.
Magic Johnson, 7 points, 4 assists. Good start in the first half for Magic. It has been a strong return from inactivity. We asked Magic, how far does he feel he's come back from his customary level of play?
What you miss, and the key is this, that you're not used to playing against guys so quick, and I found that out in practice. That's what you miss. You miss defensively. Have to now make a quicker drop or whatever that case may be when practicing against John Stockton or Bobby Hurley. And that's the side that you miss. Other than that, offensively and the things passing, I'm right there, but defensively, that's what really hurts you.
You go back to when Magic was playing for the Lakers, they always tried to take him off those smaller, quick point guards and match up differently, because the smaller, quick guards give him problems. Always have. Man is 6'9". It's not 5'11", 6'1". So playing against those type guys, it's a problem. And that's a concern down the road for Chuck and the staff.
And Mike, you mentioned Bobby Hurley because Hurley of Duke, one of the players on that collegiate squad that helped get the United States ready prior to coming to Portland.
The developmental team, which played so well against this team, in fact, beat them in the first scrimmage that they had last week in preparation. And a thought that Chuck Daly mentioned just prior to the game, he would love to bring that developmental team to Monte Carlo and have them practice against this U.S. team. It would be his stiffest competition to this point.
9th turnover committed by Venezuela, giving the ball back to the United States. Scottie Pippen and Clyde Drexler now in the backcourt. Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, and Christian Laettner up front. Gonzalez knocking it away from Drexler. Sam Shepard handling, checking back onto the floor, and once again a turnover. Sloppy play by Venezuela. A reminder coming up on the Kraft halftime report. Dan Hicks, the newest member of our NBC Sports team, will have results from the European Olympic qualifying tournament, and he'll take a look at this U.S. Olympic team and how it compares to some of the great teams in other sports over the years. That is coming up at halftime. Dan Hicks on the Kraft halftime report. This Venezuela's first appearance ever in Olympic competition in basketball. Basketball beginning in Venezuela back in 1935. Off the steal, Olivares pulled the layup. Shepard gives it up for Herrera. Well, that's the play of the half for Venezuela.
It makes their highlight tape.
Venezuela began becoming competitive in basketball in the 70s when the Venezuelan Professional League was formed. They played a 20-game schedule. They're up to a 42-game schedule now.
Well, Venezuela showing that it can get in the passing lanes, and then trying to pull the slam dunk off doesn't quite work. But then the pass and conversion at the offensive end.
And Charles Barkley will look to complete the three-point play. Charles has 8 points. The high men, Drexler and Malone, with 10. Gonzalez leads Venezuela with 8. A minute 20 to go in the first half. Another turnover. However, a travel called on Ewing, so they give it right back.
Well, this team has tremendous flexibility. I'm just not quite sure that Chuck Daly and his staff want Patrick Ewing in the middle of the fast break trying to lead it.
Patrick Ewing jammed his right thumb last week during practice. It was expected he'd miss 3 games, missed the opener against Cuba, but came right back in the second game. Here's Scottie Pippen. Thus, with a minute to go in the first half, the United States leads 62-22. And a foul is called. Your deal, and he told us yesterday he'll begin contract negotiations with the Rockets shortly. Usually a small forward. He's been playing center in this tournament, and he's played well. And he's developed that nice touch from some 15 feet away that you just saw. Clyde Drexler, yes, and it counts. Drexler leads the way with 14. The foul committed by Herrera.
Well, it's nothing unusual for Scottie Pippen to dish off and find open people. He was the leading assist man for the Chicago Bulls. And Clyde, in front of his hometown fans, putting on a little show.
Clyde has hit 6 of 7 from the field. Final seconds of the half. Olivares not able to hit. Estaba blocked by Ewing, and time has run out. That came after the horn. Well, Charles Barkley got the crowd going, but it will not count. The United States at halftime leading by 41. They led Cuba by 40 last Sunday and won by 79. It's the United States 67 and Venezuela 26. Let's take another look with time winding down as Barkley was able to unleash from the center court area. Charles getting it off, but time had clearly expired. So the high point man of the first half, Clyde Drexler with 15. 10 points for Karl Malone.
Olympic glory used to depend on muscle, talent, and heart. Now you can add digital computer analysis, retinal scanners, and more, and that costs money. That's why every time you use your Visa card, money goes to help the U.S. Olympic team. So pull for the team and pull out your Visa card. Because at the Olympics, they don't take excuses, and they don't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Everybody's different?
Completely different. One person works one way, another person works another.
There's no business exactly like yours, which is why IBM offers thousands of customized software programs and free seminars, all designed to help you run things your way.
You don't have anybody else to count on, to blame things on when things go wrong, but you get all the glory when things go right.
In just 3 weeks, the Olympic Games begin. July 25th, it's a majestic pageantry of the opening ceremony. Then on the first day of competition, Kim Zmeskal and Shannon Miller lead America's best gymnastics team ever. The Dream Team makes its Olympic debut. 4 gold medal races in swimming, plus much more. The Olympic Games coming to NBC.
Back in Portland, a look at some of the highlights during the course of the first half.
Well, Magic Johnson jumped out early, got 7 quick points, and basically because the defense was concerned about the perimeter and let the inside wide open. Defensively, the U.S. team was just outstanding, holding to 27% shooting. David Robinson with 3 block shots himself in that half. And then whether it was Michael, Magic, or Scottie Pippen that was in charge of running the show, they found open teammates and distributed the ball very well. Pippen leading the U.S. team in the first half with 5 assists.
And once again, the United States with a dominating half in terms of statistics. Look at the shooting, 68% on 27 out of 40, while Venezuela 12 for 45. They missed their first 10 shots from the field, and the U.S. with a 25-16 edge off the boards and went to town in turnovers, 14 points off the Venezuela turnovers. Right now, let's go over to Quinn Buckner.
I'm here with Coach Chuck Daly. Coach, what do you try to get accomplished in a game like this? You know you're going to get a victory.
Yeah, we tried to set some individual goals today. One, try not to give up any 3 points and come out with defensive intensity. Plus, I think we want to send a little bit of a message overseas and let people know exactly how good we are.
Well, I don't think there's any question that this is a very good team. Good luck to you, like you needed out here.
Yeah, they're playing very well, and if we keep our defensive intensity and run, we'll be fine.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach.
All right, Quinn, Chuck Daly mentioned the keeping those 3-point shots down, while Venezuela 2 for 11 from the field in terms of 3-point shooting, but he's really searching if he's trying to find something in this first half.
Well, speaking to Chuck before the game, he said, you know, we almost have to treat this as if it's our last practice. We're not going to be together for another 2 weeks. I don't have that many days once we get to Monte Carlo, so it's a game, yeah, but it's also a practice for this team.
Well, one piece of good news for Venezuela, the first half went, 38 minutes, so it wasn't as painful as it could have been. That's the fastest half in this tournament.
Well, they have been shooting the ball quickly, taking quick shots. There have not been a lot of fouls. The U.S. has been getting a lot of transition scores, so the flow of the game has been very, very good, and as a result, a quick first half.
And there has been a unique situation that has developed here during the course of the Tournament of the Americas. It began with the game against Cuba last Sunday, where the Cubans asked to pose with the Americans in a photo opportunity, and that has become traditional now. Before every game against the U.S. Olympic team, they sit down and pose for a photo, something for the opposition to take home to the kids and the family.
How about this? You find this a little bit unusual. At halftime, rather than warming up, the Venezuelan guys have a little camera. They're running around asking the U.S. players, will you stand next to me and take a picture for my scrapbook once I get back home to Venezuela? Just a little bit different mentality.
Couple of Abba. Shepard with it. Shepard off the drive. And it's tipped home by Alexander Nelchuk. Here's Mullen. Chris Mullen for the tournament, shooting 65%. He's averaging 15 points. 28. Herrera off the dribble. Jordan for Robinson. He had the three, he passed on it, and gave it up.
The other 9 teams and their dunks, they have a total of 56 also. So the U.S. team just tied the rest of the tournament teams in total dunks with that last one.
Here's Malone. Yes. So Karl Malone with 12 points this week, and Carl Herrera and Gabriel Estaba, friends since they were teenagers. Well, Shepard able to hit on the drive, but Herrera and Estaba got into it in the locker room. It's not sharing the ball on the court. Jordan save for Robinson. And the argument escalated to the point that Herrera took a swing at Estaba, but missed, fortunately. Estaba said he left the room at the urging of the Venezuelan Federation officials.
Had been very, very close friends years back, and then there was a split. Something had happened. They weren't speaking for a while.
Mullen with the save. Jordan setting up Malone. Malone thought he was fouled. Jordan with the steal. Backs to three-point territory and hits. Johnson with the steal for 3. Yes. So consecutive three-pointers on consecutive steals by Jordan and Johnson. Second half. A look away from Magic for Robinson. And the United States now leads by 50.
Picks it off defensively. He can't decide whether to give it up right away and get a quick assist. Nah, I think I'll just take it back here behind the three-point line and pick up 3 on my scoring average. And then defensively, maybe the best in the league at coming from behind and blocking shots, Michael Jordan.
Well, Brazil knocked off Puerto Rico in the consolation game earlier today, 93-91, and the hope of basketball officials here was that it would be a Brazil-United States final. In particular, after Marcel de Sousa of Brazil had these strong statements to make, saying that he hopes that the NBA All-Pro, All-Universal team will play the best they can. He said they have not played their best. They're hiding. They're playing for fun. I wish we play them in the final or semifinal. And we asked Michael Jordan for his reaction.
If you don't like the way I prepare for a game, then, that's your tough luck. But, when I step on the basketball court, you got to deal with me. And that's going to be a motivational point for me in terms of what they've said about what I do to relax myself. Yeah, I'm going to be ready to play.
Well, I just want to tell the Brazilian team they are very fortunate that they did not wind up in the final, because this U.S. team was fired up to play Brazil. Speaking with each of the players, they had read the comments, did not like some of the things that were said, and you think this 50-point deficit's bad right now. It could have been worse.
Using it to rev up, or should they go against Brazil in a championship game. David Robinson adds to the lead. It's 85-35. Marcel de Sousa said, if they are the dream team, we're the nightmare team. Their best, I want to see it. I want to say I play with the best American team. And he said that earlier in the week, they're not playing now, Jordan, with golf, Pippen with the suntan. Jordan said, tell de Sousa that's Scottie Pippen's natural color. That's the only mild controversy during the course of the week here at the Tournament of the Americas. Turnover number 16 committed by Venezuela. 5.5 gone by in the second half. And the United States moving up on the possibility of largest differential. That was a three-point attempt by Mullen. Last Sunday, the United States knocked off Cuba by 79. In Olympic competition, the largest differential ever for the United States. They defeated Thailand 101-29 and 56. That was a 72-point margin. And as I said, they won by 79 over Cuba last Sunday. That's a 3 for Chris Mullen, who has been on fire from three-point land. United States going into today's play, 52 points. Off the steal. Mullen from Robinson, and he was fouled by Shepard.
You stay in your areas, and it's a form of zone incorporated into the man-to-man defense.
And Mullen going to get inside. The United States leads 90-35. Estaba, it counts, and the foul.
Me, when he's driving his left elbow into my chin and then knocking me to the floor. But, David, forget it.
Debut in Barcelona, and you will see that game in its entirety. That'll be 4 o'clock, both Eastern and Pacific time. Here, Mullen gets it right back out. Jordan attempting the three. Malone on the follow. 14 points for Karl Malone. Shepard. 8 points for Shepard. He gets to Barcelona. That is Shepard.
39 years old, 8% body fat, not bad. Says it takes him a little longer now. It takes him 2 months to get himself ready.
Mullen from Jordan, rejected by Estaba. Herrera leads the break. Herrera had it knocked away, able to recover, finds Estaba. This is the best flow of the day. Far-fetched. Sam has a 22-year-old daughter by the name of Gwendolyn. Here's Estaba. Well, Venezuela with a little burst here. 11 and a half remaining. Michael Jordan to the reverse.
Michael wanted to know why there was no whistle. He thought he should have been on a free throw line.
Malone with the rebound. Magic pulls up for the three. Estaba for Herrera. Mullen. Easy penetration. We've seen that throughout the tournament. That began with the opening game, the United States against Cuba. Malone rejecting Shepard, who lands in the crowd. Robinson stripped. And Gonzalez pitches down to Shepard. Back for Gonzalez.
Well, Shepard started to think about taking it to the basket, and then
Gonzalez knocking it away from Malone. Magic for three. And Herrera comes down with it. Pops it down to Shepard. Well, Shepard off the fake. Jordan looking for the block. And the United States now leads 96-52. Robinson. That's 14 for David Robinson of the going surgery back in March. A rejection by Jordan. Jordan able to stop Nelcha. It's a 3-on-1. Here's Mullen behind the back, returning to Magic. Malone. Rebound Malone. Yes, and the foul.
decision because they're so easy. But back a few moments ago, want to add one to the highlight film? Well, here it is. Michael Jordan, little body contact, and then he finds a way to get it up, around, and over the top of the rim.
Welcome back to Portland. I'm here right now with Mrs. Irvin Johnson Cookie and their new son, Irvin Johnson III. She's saying she can't believe he's sleeping through the game. Cookie, tell me, how's he been? You been able to rest?
A little bit. He's a very good baby. He sleeps about 2 to 3 hours a night.
Let me ask you, as Magic is going through this, what has been his impressions to you about how the trials have been going for him?
Oh, he's having a great time. He's really enjoying this, and it's like, being back in the NBA to him. It's a really, good feeling, and it's a good feeling for me to see him out there. It was like looking at old tape, the first game that I saw him, and you see that big grin on his face. It made me feel really good.
Well, good. I want congratulations again on your newborn. Guys, that's it. This is his first official outing. Back to Marvin Mike.
10 points, 6 assists. Chuck Daly making changes. Suffered a cut to his scalp that required, it counts, and the foul. 1 stitch required. As we take another look at that drive.
Carl Herrera with the reverse dunk.
Bowling ball with a Band-Aid on it.
This is one cold group out there. They don't care who it is or what it is. You're going to find out and hear about it some way.
Charles said, no, that's funny. I like it. Good move. Remaining in the second half. Shepard with a nice pass. Alexander Nelcha finished it off. the last couple of years. Barkley. So a friendly rim for Charles Barkley, and the United States leads 105-57. Drexler with the rejection. We'll see him, the home of the NBA Portland Trailblazers. Capacity on hand. Better than 13,000. And Clyde Drexler of the Blazers called for the hack.
Rick Adelman had the opportunity. He would rest Clyde, trying not to play him in back-to-back games or 3- and 4-night situations, deciding which one he was going to sit out because of the swelling that would be a concern of theirs as they move on to Barcelona.
And once again, Larry Bird has been sitting it out. That's a steal by Shepard. Try to set up. Last touch by Leitner. Larry with the bad back, which has affected his legs. He feels the nerve damage in his legs when his back acts up. That long flight to Nice for the U.S. team's training in Monte Carlo. Long periods of time without worrying about that back stiffening up. Carl Herrera, he has 15. His way to making 6 out of 6 here in the Tournament of Americas. 3-on-1. Esteban takes it all the way and lost it. Shepard on the recovery, shoots for 3. Drexler for 3 points. And rebounded by Nelcha. Esteban fouled by Pippen. Game and concerning the overall look of the United States Olympic team, he said you could actually put together an all-star team from all the other teams in this tournament, give us a 30-point lead and the ball, and we'd still lose by a good margin.
Well, it's not like they can hold it for the rest. There's this shot clock thing that you have to get it up there eventually, and he understands that this U.S. team has such great ability.
Puerto Rico, then an assistant coach, Leitner, getting inside. And as you mentioned, Julio says he learned to coach from traveling violations. Some of the NBA coaches who spent the first half, he attempted 13. He was 5 of 13. This is Gonzalez with the ball. He's stopped and able to put it home on the recovery. The United States leads 109-67. Here's Shepard with Pippen back. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the game. Shot clock for the U.S. is down under 10. It's a 3-on-2 for Venezuela. Shepard behind the back. Nicely done. Herrera able to finish it off.
Well, actually, it was one of the few times that the zone defense that Venezuela played gave the United States some problems. They didn't get.
Clyde Drexler with 15. David Robinson, 14. Chris Mullen with 12. That's a 3-pointer.
Charles Barkley.
United States leads 112-73. As Estaba is able to hit.
And there's that point guard breaking down the U.S. defense that we were talking about, that point guard. And with Stockton out, as Clyde misses the layup and Charles stays on the glass for the U.S. team, with Stockton out with the injured leg, the responsibility of trying to defend those smaller, quicker point guards.
Minute of the U.S. victory over Canada earlier this week. Nelcha scoring for Venezuela. John felt the immediate pain. Leitner for 3. Christian Leitner, the only collision on the U.S. squad. Nelcha around Ewing and fouled by Leitner. Couple of Olympic gold medalists, figure skater Christy Yamaguchi and speed skater Bonnie Blair behind Christy. On hand here at the Memorial Coliseum as we wind down of the Tournament of the Americas. And the crowd chanting for Larry Bird, but they will not see him in action because of that bad back. Well, Larry is tying the shoelaces and the jersey being taken off, and perhaps they will see him. Now, the other night, Larry gave the impression in the final minutes playing with the crowd that he would enter the ball game. We were told that he would not play today, but
in with very little time left remaining in the game, the crowd went nuts, and he's getting up.
As Ewing hits, the crowd reacts to the entrance of Larry Bird, who will enter the game in the final minutes. Herrera connecting from the outside. The United States leading 119-78.
It would be interesting. Bird made the opening basket this week for the United States team, the first basket in the tournament for the United States. How about if he wound up taking the last shot?
And Larry Bird had a brilliant shooting performance last Sunday. Here he comes. So Bird has come on for Barkley. He hit 7 of 8, 3 from downtown against Cuba on Sunday. Here's Bird looking for the 3, then gives to Leitner. Herrera. That was deflected by Ewing. Ewing getting down court with Shepard back. And Ewing able to go glass. The crowd would love to see Bird get a shot off. The chant for Larry Bird. Herrera on the follow. And the United States leads 125-80. Bird handles and fires. Looked like Melcher got a piece of it. Bird on the drive. This the reverse. Hits the corner. This, of course, is not what Larry Bird had in mind to finish things up a la a Henry Finkel, but the crowd showing their great respect and admiration for one of the game's great players, Larry Bird.
And he immediately got a high five from Patrick Ewing, who the two of them this past week have become very close friends, the Harry and Larry combination.
0.6 of a second remaining.
I don't know where Patrick Ewing comes up with Harry, but...
So the United States has defeated Venezuela by the score of 127-80 in the championship game of the Tournament of the Americas here in Portland. Go over to Quinn Buckner.
Hello, I'm here with Larry Bird. Larry, your back has been bothering you. Just shocked everybody came in and play. Obviously, you're feeling a little better.
Yeah, I do feel a lot better, and I didn't want to get hurt out here because I want to go to Barcelona. So I just stayed out everybody's way today.
I saw you weren't going for any rebounds. What are you going to do for your rehab?
So I'm going back to Boston tomorrow and get some therapy on it, rest this week, then hopefully next week I can start playing again and try to get in good shape and go from there.
Well, I'm sure everybody's pulling for you so you can bring the gold back to America.
We will. Thank you.
Tuesday on an all-new Man and Machine.
$1 million for a baby?
2 cops tear apart a black market baby ring. Then on Quantum Leap,
I just want to have a baby with you.
Sam's feeling some kind of misery.
This is crazy.
Don't you ever say that!
Quantum Leap following an all-new Man and Machine beginning at 8, 7 Central, NBC Tuesday.
Well, I got a cop who wants me out of the way because he wants my wife.
Unlawful Entry is a smoothly crafted thriller. Kurt Russell and Ray Liotta are both great. Riveting, bristles with tension and suspense. You don't need an air-conditioned theater. This movie has enough chills.
You go near her, I'll kill you.
Unlawful Entry, directed by Jonathan Kaplan. Rated R, now playing.
U.S. Olympic team. A look at today's Miller Genuine Draft play of the game.
Michael Jordan, who played many different roles here, scorer, assist man, defensive stopper at times, but always putting on a highlight show for the crowd. Michael Jordan with the play of the game.
Although for Michael, another low-key performance, his explosives not needed. He went 3 for 7 for 7 points. We'll be back in a moment.
Pleased to announce
The USA Basketball Tournament of the Americas Most Valuable Player is brought to you by Visa.
And as a part of Visa's continuing effort to support amateur athletics, Visa proud to donate $10,000 to the U.S. Olympic team in Charles Barkley and Magic Johnson's names in order to help further the development of U.S. Olympians present and future. They are the tournament MVPs. Barkley today with 15. He led the team in scoring, averaging 16 per game. And the Magic Man with 6 assists this afternoon. So he finished with 54 assists to lead the way in that department. We were chatting about this earlier. It is expected, and from all indications and talking with Magic Johnson, that we can look for Magic to give it a shot, as you mentioned earlier, pending the medical advice concerning his HIV positive status. But we look for him to give it a shot, at least to play a partial schedule next season with the Los Angeles Lakers.
And that's the key thing, that obviously the games that may be limited, try to reduce the travel, for Magic, to play the 41 home games and then see how many of the away games. Going, of course, down to play the Clippers wouldn't be all that bad for him, and a few other teams where it's a real short flight. But it's in him. He wants to get back and compete one more time, and it's going to be hard to deny him that opportunity with the way he's playing right now.
Right now, the medals ceremony is taking place at center court here in Portland. The United States defeating Venezuela 127-80, making it 6-0 in the Tournament of Americas to win the championship. Mike, I think going in, people expected the U.S. would have an easy time, but I don't know if they expected that they would blow through everybody with this type of ease, beginning with the 79-point victory over Cuba last Sunday.
I think what it does is it shows how smart, how intelligent, and how well these players, with their tremendous skills, understand this game of basketball and the knowledge that they absorb and pick up during their regular seasons. Because with only 6 practices, it's almost impossible to put it together, make it work the way they did. But that's the level that they're at, the best players in the world at the game of basketball. And, you're talking about taking egos. There was a concern. Could they blend and mesh these egos? Well, it became very easy.